up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. Back in here, fit for more video. Guys, you already know what time it is, and today we must get active. Shout out to my Instagram, at Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, long but you know how to spell. If you don't, link down below. Continue to follow and send me fantastic content. This content today comes from a loyal female subscriber. Thank you very much, Mama, for sending this content over to me. It comes from one of these Instagram accounts that talk that the audience is for women, and they talk about shit wrong with men. I mean, it's just one of those type of accounts. Okay. So what it appears as though is that this particular account, which has over 100,000 accounts following it, took a comment from one of my comments sections in one of my videos, and I want to be able to go over it. Okay, because I want to go over what it is that they're trying to say, how they're trying to spin the message. Okay, let you know if it's right, wrong, or if I'm indifferent to it. And then also go over some of the comments just to have a conversation. So without further ado, I can't remember what video that this was on, but apparently I actually love the comment. All right. A single man in his 30s that makes $350,000 per year wants 1, your own family. 2, a nice house or apartment. 3, luxury car, 120K Maserati. A trophy wife that's submissive and feminine. Okay. Most men would rather date the 9 that works at Starbucks than the 5 that owns multiple businesses. Now, as I look at this, I say to myself, oh, own family. That means that doesn't want to date a single mother or to get into a long-term relationship with a single mother. Nice house or apartment. Yes, I say that, and I'm just like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You got to have the lowest level of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You got to have that shelter component, a luxury car, 120K Maserati. This I'm a bit indifferent to. I'm not particularly a car guy. I think as long as it gets me to and fro and it's, marginally nice, I am 100% okay with it. And a trophy wife, when I see trophy wife, I think of someone that is a 8, 9 or better, right? That's submissive and feminine. If you take these things, you wrap them in a nice little bow, I would think that this particular single man, all right, would be joyous or happy into the future going forth. That's why I love this particular comment. All right. I also love this particular comment because the idea that most men would rather date a 9 that works at Starbucks than a 5 that owns multiple businesses is absolutely facts. It's absolutely true. Okay. But what we see so far and too often is that there's a lot of content creators or content reposters, as what this particular site or Instagram account is doing, that tries to take what a man is saying and just say, no, that's wrong. No, man, what you want is incorrect. And we see this happening time and time and time again. So let's go back into the original post and see how this was particularly spinned. Okay. Some men, again, will tell you your money and degree simply don't matter to humble you. Okay, so you're saying, so what you're doing is you're taking this original post, and then what you're saying is you're adding on some combative post-secondary thing that was never said within the post. That had nothing to do with the post. It's just telling you what a man wants, objectively, generally, not the outliers of dudes, but generally, most men, those 4 things is abundantly true. Okay. But then in order to put it on this particular platform to get an emotional response from the people that follow you, you say it as if we're doing it in a way to belittle women. How damaging is this when you see bullshit like this? How damaging is this? In order to try to humble you, and in quotes, as if a man saying what it is that they generally like, okay, is somehow disrespectful to women. Anyway, let's move on. 9 out of 10 of these men aren't as successful or as educated as you are, and to make themselves feel better about being underachievers, will try to downplay your accomplishments. Okay. Again, we're taking a very non-statistical judgment, and we're just going to put a 9 out of 10 out of that. Okay, we're going to take a look at all of the women that are on that follow and like this particular content. We're just going to say 9 out of 10. All right. So how many likes did this particular post get? It says it right here. This post got 1,500 likes. Wait a minute. Out of 120,000 subscribers. Oh, you buy accounts. Okay. That's what this means. That's a shitty like to subscribe ratio or follow ratio, whatever Instagram calls it. Okay. So 9 out of 10. All right. So that's like 1,200 of y'all. All right. That means 1,200 of y'all are better than us. That's what it is that you're trying to say. 9 out of 10 of these men aren't as successful or as educated as you. And to make themselves feel better. You see, here's what the thing is that you are downplaying what men in general are saying. And men in general are letting you know, we don't look towards your accomplishments. Never have, never will. We don't look towards your accomplishments as what feminism has tried to convince you, as if men and women judge themselves relatively on a consistent scale back and forth. There's no equality when it comes to that. Men inherently look at different things. Women inherently look at different things. The fallacy is that you take what you like about a man and you say, well, if I get all of those things within myself, well, then a man would like me. It's not true. Feminism has lied to you. Sorry. I'm sorry. But listen, you shouldn't be mad at us. You shouldn't be mad at men. You should be mad at those that purported the lies to you. But instead, you misdirect where that anger should go. And instead, you focus on men as if we're trying to belittle you. No, we're just telling you what we think. Just because it's what we think, we're not trying to belittle you. This is just, in general, what men think. But let's continue to read the drivel. The funny thing is, these men are probably going to ask you to contribute financially to the household and or relationship. Here's the thing, okay? As someone who would define themselves as a high-value man, you can go take a look at the receipts on my particular channel from a monetary perspective. I will also say from a relationship perspective, I got some shit that I got to work on. You know, I'm not perfect. You understand me? I'm not perfect, but no one's perfect. I'm not infallible. I know everything about life, and I know everything about this, that, and the third, and I'm not like one of those type of dudes. I make mistakes just like the best of them. Okay, but I do know one thing for sure. If I met a young lady that brings a relative peace within my life, okay, wants to meet me where I am, wants to support my thoughts, my ideas, my ambitions, okay, understands that the decisions that I'm trying to lead, okay, she understands that I'm making it for the totality of what it is that we're doing, and that I'm trying to get you to the promised land and back, but has a degree of agreeableness with that, which is the submissive thing that the original poster was talking about, a degree of agreeableness, because that's what really submission is. It's just agreeableness, okay? Not feeling as though you have to be the contrarian police, the I disagree police, okay? That's what submission actually is in the context of a relationship. All right, who is also attractive, is also not overweight, like 70% of y'all are, okay, is fit, okay, feminine, knows how to bring peace into a situation, knows how to talk me off of the ledge and not push me closer to the edge, okay. Then a lot of things within her life from a monetary perspective, she don't got to worry about those things, okay, because she brings me added value within my life, and it's to ride or die for the kingdom that I'm building. You understand me? And the majority of dudes that look at and follow this channel that you screenshotted and put on your page for nefarious reasons would agree with me. The majority. Not all of them. Not all. We're not the all police over here, but the majority. All right. Let's go into the actual post. I know we get into some of the comments. A lot of these high-value men who talk that high-value men, i.e. high earning, want aren't even high value themselves. And if they do happen to be high value, they still want you to go 50-50. We just talked about that. Okay. What good is a high earning salary if you still have to work or contribute financially? The whole point of getting a high value man is because you wanted him to provide a good lifestyle, right? So when he starts asking for money, then he should be filled in the dusty category as well. So again, what you're doing is you're taking one post, you're assigning that we're trying to humble you as if it's not our truth, and then you come off with a whole bunch of other straw man arguments that have nothing to do with the original comment, all to make people continue to subscribe to you, to follow to you, so you can continue to push content or products to them. This is completely absurd. Okay, this is what you call pandering at the highest degree and the highest level. It's a shame is that, you know, it's dedicated to women like this, because content like this does nothing but continue to break us apart. Really and truly. Someone who is not as dipped into the matrix, okay, we'll take a look at a post like this and say to yourself, damn, it's so crazy that dudes think like this in order to try to belittle me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to go off and get this PhD to prove them wrong. And I'm going to go get a guy who respects my PhD. And it just doesn't matter as much. Now, all that time, you could have been working on your fitness. You could be working on your femininity. You could have been working on like all of these other different things. Now, I do give credence to the point that there are men within this sector that talk about a traditional lifestyle but can't afford it. Right? Like that does exist. That absolutely does exist. Okay? So I'm working as a content creator on this side of the platform to make sure that dudes like that and other derivatives of them are in alliance or in accords with doing the correct things within their life in order to increase their value. Really and truly, not on some fake shit. Okay? Now, what this does is that it continues to separate us apart. But I don't think that you actually care. I just think that the people who follow this channel should care because they're being led astray. Let's go down into some of the comments and see what's happening down up in here. Oh, looks like there was a bunch of other comments. Nurse Jenna says, oh my God, thank you. I say this all the time. Like, let's stop pretending those same men don't brag to others about your accomplishments, then try to milk you dry for them like, ugh. Why do we keep letting them dim our light and dictate how we should value ourselves? We're not dictating how you should value yourself. It's how we value you. Okay? It's how we value you, which I think that it is apropos that you can consider what it is that you bring to an appropriate table. And that table is dictated by men. Okay? Because men have to get on bended knee. So they're selecting you on what they find important. We're not downplaying you. We're letting you know what it is that we look for. Don't fall for it, ladies, because trust, as soon as they achieve the tiniest thing, they think they are too good for you. Let me touch on this as well. Personally, I give more respect to women that have achieved things within their lives. It's not the end all be all, just being a 9 at McDonald's. It comes down to your behavior and your attitudes. And more often than not, if you had the discipline to achieve credentials within your life that I deem admirable, you probably did so with a degree of discipline around your life. So I just use that as a key indicator to understand the type of person that you are. You understand what I'm saying? If you're a 9 working at a McDonald's and you're 29 years old and I'm listening to your life story and you was in jail here, you know what I'm saying? You had a stint with a bad boy over here, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's other things about characteristics about you. I'm just like, oh no, this is a high risk. I may try to get this viscous innards from you, but that's just really about it. You know what I'm saying? That's just really about it. I'm not gonna take your undisciplined ass into incorporate within my life on some serious ish. So I do understand that, but correlation does not also equal causation, because a lot of women that have filled out their degrees and their certifications in a way that's very admirable, but then you still talk to them and they're bitter, they're upset. And more often than not, you look in their Instagram list of the places that they follow, and it's channels like this because they've been fed a whole bunch of bullshit. That's not true. Okay. If the man is truly high value, he won't be intimidated by the woman with her own means career. Yeah. I won't be intimidated by whatever you've achieved. Okay. I won't. In fact, he will prefer it. I gave some of the reasons why I would prefer. A truly high value man wants someone who brings something to the table other than just looks. That's true. Depth, if you will. Yes. And yes, feminine, and be able to relate in a healthy, balanced manner within the relationship. Yeah, it's about behavior. It's about behavior and attitude. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Because I talk about on this channel as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's plenty nines out there from a visual perspective that are twos when they open up their mouths. We've seen that time and time again. Shit, I've done replies to IG models, and I'm just like, damn, just stick to Instagram. Stick to the content where people can't hear you speak. Because that'll be best for you. That'll probably be best for you. As long as they don't hear you speak, they can just look at a pretty face and supple hindquarters. Continue to make money that way. When you open your mouth, though, it degrades you. It is what it is, though. We all got places to grow and learn. All right? Let's go to the next comment. As a man, oh, we got dudes who follow the shit because you can't comment on this Instagram account unless you actually follow the channel. As a man who doesn't need a woman to pay any bills, I would be considered traditional. Why you follow this channel, my G? What's the real reason? Okay? You white knighting. Every time that they post a comment that's like negative to dudes, you coming in here and you start to post in order to try to advertise yourself. You gotta think of the mindset of a dude who does this. Here's what it is. Most traditional men want traditional women. Facts. Ones who value staying home and raising the kids. Nobody should down accomplishments but degrees. Wouldn't make you more fit as a traditional wife to a traditional man. Okay, he's speaking facts. Domestic skills do. I do think that's all people are saying, not putting it down, putting it into context. Okay, much more respect for you, my G. Looks like you follow in order to set them utterly correct. I appreciate that. Okay. He speaks a lot of facts. Okay. Because a lot of what's happening here is that you get these modern women that follow these modern tracks, but still wants the benefits of a traditional woman, but don't have any idea of how to be a traditional woman. You know what I'm saying? It is the minority nowadays that I come across. I'm like, yo, you know, I make pancakes. More often than not, I get no, if not a grin and a snicker. Shit. And that's some real ish. All right, guys, listen, I had to talk about this one real quick because I think that it's important to make sure that the information that we say over here is not mischaracterized across the internet for just pure and utter pander, you know? It seems as though there's a section of the internet that hasn't learned from the whole Derrick Jackson fiasco, that there's content creators out there that are simply doing it for the bag. They're simply doing it for the money. And they would try to discredit those that are down in the space that are just telling you what we want. And no matter how many times that we say it, no matter how many times that we go back and forth about this bullshit, it just seems as though it's constantly new news and information for the majority. And they just say, you know, men don't know what they want, which is the most ridiculous argument. The most ridiculous argument. It's almost, listen, it's almost as if, right, like there's creators out there that have successfully convinced women that dudes we just too stupid or too trash to know exactly what we want, right? So instead, they will act like we're trying to put a thumb or a pressure all in the idea and the gaze of patriarchy and try to manipulate and downplay people. No, we're just telling you what we want. You take that information, you're going to do whatever it is that you want for it. But fact of the matter is, you better continue to heal yourself from content like this, because if you come in with these ideologies and meeting a dude like me, right? I'm going to pick up on this shit very easily. Because what this does is that it inflicts a negative idea about men in society or men in your life. So you take this idea with you as you deal with situations with us, time and time again. So we got to be able to talk about this. All right. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. This one was fun. I got to do more videos like this into the future. All right. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.